Before you listen any further, you need to hear what happened first. If you haven't watched part 1, stop now and go back. This story won't make sense unless you understand the rules of the house, the job, and the mistake I already made on the first night. If you skip ahead, you'll miss the moment I realized the house wasn't empty and why I was never meant to survive a second night. Go watch part 1 first, then come back, because what happened next was far worse. The lock clicking behind Mr. Hale echoed longer than it should have. I stood in the entryway for several seconds, staring at the door, half expecting it to open again. It didn't. The silence that followed felt deliberate, like the house was waiting for my next move. I tried the handle. Locked. That should bother me more than it did. I told myself it was part of the job. Rich people had strange security habits. That explanation felt thin, but I accepted it anyway. I walked back into the living room and dropped my bag beside the couch. That's when I noticed how the house sounded, or rather, how it didn't. No ticking clocks, no hum of electricity, no distant traffic, just an empty, padded silence that made every breath feel too loud. I checked the time, 8:14 p.m. Still hours before the rules mattered. I sat down and scrolled through my phone, but the signal was weak. Messages hung unsent. Videos refused to load. After a few minutes, I locked the screen and listened instead. That's when I heard it. A soft thump from upstairs. It was faint, subtle enough that I almost convinced myself I imagined it. I froze, staring at the ceiling. Nothing followed. 30 seconds passed. Then a minute. No more sound. I let out a quiet laugh, trying to shake the tension. Old houses made noises that didn't mean anything. Still, I didn't turn the TV on. I didn't hum. I didn't speak. The house felt like it preferred that. By 10:30 p.m., the feeling of being watched had settled into my bones. I couldn't explain it. There were no eyes on me, no movement, just the certainty that I wasn't alone in my thoughts anymore. I stood and walked to the front window, pulling the curtain back just enough to peek outside. The street was empty. Every house was dark. Every single one. No porch lights. No cars. No silhouettes behind curtains. It was like the entire neighborhood shut down at once. I checked another window. Same thing. I let the curtain fall and backed away slowly. At 11:47 p.m., I went to the bathroom. The hallway felt longer than before. The light flickered when I switched it on. When I looked into the mirror, something felt wrong. I looked exhausted, pale, like I hadn't slept in days. For a brief moment, I had the unsettling sensation that my reflection wasn't moving exactly when I did, like it was lagging, just slightly. I raised my hand. It raised its hand. I stared at myself for another second, then turned away. I didn't look back. Midnight passed quietly, too quietly. The house felt alert now, like it knew the time. I checked my phone again. 12:58 a.m. 2 minutes. I sat back down on the couch, making sure I faced away from the staircase. I turned the lamp brighter, even though the light didn't seem to reach very far. At exactly 1 o'clock a.m., the world went silent. Not naturally silent, unnaturally. The faint pressure in my ears vanished. The air grew cold. My skin prickled. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Upstairs. Slow. Heavy. Bare feet on wood. Each step landed with intention, like whoever was walking wanted me to hear it. My heart slammed against my ribs. The footsteps crossed the upstairs hallway, then turned around and crossed it again, back and forth, pacing. I clenched my jaw and stared straight ahead. Rule 4. Do not investigate. The pacing stopped directly above me. Something dragged across the floor. Fingernails. Then came the breathing. Not through the ceiling. Inside my head. Wet. Shallow. Close. I squeezed my eyes shut. That's when the whisper came. Why won't you look at me? Rule 5. Do not respond. My phone buzzed violently in my hand. A message appeared on the screen. IT knows you are awake. IT footsteps suddenly sped up, running now. Door to door upstairs. Furniture scraped. Something fell over. Then silence again. This time, the sound came from the staircase. One creak. Another. Slowly descending. I could feel it standing at the bottom of the stairs, just out of sight. The breathing grew louder. Then the voice spoke again. My voice. Perfect. You can turn around now. Something brushed my shoulder. Cold. Wrong. I whispered before I could stop myself. What do you want? Everything froze. Then it laughed. At exactly 4 o'clock AM. The lights snapped on. Warmth returned. The house went still. Empty. The staircase was clear. The phone rang. I answered. You spoke to it, Mr. Hale said calmly. It touched me, I whispered. I know, he replied. You're lucky. Lucky? You're still you, he said. For now. The line went dead. When morning came and the door unlocked itself, I finally stood up. That's when I saw the muddy footprints on the floor. They led from the staircase and stopped directly behind the couch where I'd been sitting all night. If you're still listening, it means the house hasn't chased you away yet. What I found after this night changed everything. The basement, the people who took this job before me, and the reason Mr. Hale never warned anyone about the second night. If you want to know the truth, don't leave now. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 3. Because that's when the house stops watching and starts choosing. Comment below if you think I should run after the first night, or if you would have stayed. Your answer matters more than you think. Part 3 is waiting.